Hi, good evening. Q's Views, number 5. So after the local elections, we can probably say that the fact is that whatever the Conservatives do, whatever successes they may achieve between now and the general election, the great British public has largely switched off. This period is now analogous to 1995 to 97, when John Major has seen off all opponents within his party and governed efficiently and well, but the momentum for change could not be stopped. The Conservatives were out of power for the next 13 years, 1997 to 2010. So, unless something extraordinary happens, the Labour Party will win a large majority, possibly on a low turnout, because in England the Conservatives and in Scotland the Scotty Nats will stay away. Sir Keir Starmer will be our next Prime Minister. It appears to me that there is little enthusiasm for him. He is merely riding the tide, the groundswell against the others. So, what does Sir Keir believe in? Now, this is very difficult to say. In 2019, Sir Keir wanted the plebs to vote again in another referendum on Brexit. Only vote the correct way this time. He loved the leader of the Labour Party, the socialist Jeremy Corbyn. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, the crowd sang at Glastonbury Festival, each one of whom had paid hundreds of pounds to be there. Then in 2019, Labour went down to its worst defeat since 1935. What Sir Keir is good at is disavowing everything that Labour stood for in 2019 and dragging it back to the centre ground. And that is generally where elections are won and lost. He exiled Jeremy Corbyn, his former leader whom he loved so much, from the party completely. And he's forgotten all about the second referendum. He has changed his views so many times that nobody knows what he stands for. He has not been courageous. He believed that the occasional woman can have a penis. Please. We're back in Alice in Wonderland, where words mean what you want them to mean. Let me tell you, if you have a penis, you are a bloke, a dude, like me. You can even have all the operations, but every cell in your body is still XY. Now that a bit of sanity has been restored in this poisonous debate with the Caste report, Sir Keir has disavowed his former views too. He has finally deigned to talk to the Labour MP Rosie Duffield, who, unlike him, was courageous enough to stand up to this nonsense on behalf of women and received much abuse from her own side for doing so. Sir Keir seems to me to be keen to get into power, but I predict that he will not know what to do with it. One commentator asked, after Mrs. Thatcher and Thatcherism, whether there could be Keir Starmer and Starmerism. That will be impossible. You only get an ism after your name if all your views are well known. Sir Keir's views are not well articulated enough at all. Were Labour to get a thumping majority, the party would probably split into its respective wings of left and the centre. Sir Keir will be like a flag in the wind, waving one way and the other. He seeks to emulate former Prime Minister Blair's sofa government, where only a few individuals will have real access and the cabinet is more of a rubber stamp. Worse still, his front bench is not brimming with talent. The plagiarist Rachel Reeves will be the next Chancellor of the Exchequer, but she will have no extra money to spend. His Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, is, to put it politely, not the brightest firework in the box. Some of the new intake of Labour MPs will be exceptionally talented. Unfortunately, Sir Keir is apparently not that good at cajoling and bringing his supporters alongside. He is going to have to learn to work the MP's tea room. If he cannot, I can only foresee trouble ahead. Now, whilst I am being relatively downbeat, it is fair to point out that the distinguished commentator Andrew Marr, Red Marr, as he is known in his university days for his left-wing views, has predicted that Sir Keir could be as good a Prime Minister as Clement Attlee. Now that is some claim. Clement Attlee was the Prime Minister in the post-World War II period, 1945 to 51. It was probably the most successful 20th century British government. He introduced the modern welfare state, the National Health Service, and oversaw the initial retreat from empire. All I can say is that I hope that Andrew Marr is right and that I am wrong. Above all, we need to be well governed.